Welcome back to another edition of Giraffes Wear Math Socks. I'm your host, Mr. Kavner, and today we're going to be talking about multiplication and division word problems. And so that's going to be our next thing that we're going into. We're done with Unit 1, moving on to Unit 2. So let's get started. It says, draw and label a bar model to show a number that is 5 times as many as 7. And so the way that we'll do this is whatever number is at the end of this statement. So whenever it says as whatever number, that number is going to then go into a box. Okay, and it says show a number that is 5 times as many as 7. So that means if it is 5 times as many, then I'm going to need to have 5 of these boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one's going to have 7 inside of it. So if I know my multiplication tables really well, then I know that 7 times 5 equals 35. If I don't, I could still use repeated addition and add 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. But hopefully you'll see that the more you know your multiplication tables, the easier things are. So that's a skill that you need to be working on if you're not there yet. So let's look at some more. So let's put this in a real world situation. Tara scored 6 times as many soccer goals as Leah during one season. Leah scored 3 goals. Draw a bar model and write an equation that represents the number of goals Tara scored. So she scored 3 goals, and Tara scored, so this will be Leah. Tara scored 6 times as many goals. So I need 6 boxes. And each box needs to have 3 in it. So 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be 18 goals. Okay, here again, if I know multiplication, then I can do that very easily. If I don't, I can add them up. But we need to get to the point where we are just multiplying that. All right, a few more. I feel like this is going to be a quicker video than normal. All right, yesterday, Ruth scored 2 points at the game. Today, she scored 8 times as many points as she did yesterday. How many points did Ruth score today? So if I just think about this, she had 2 points at the game. Today she scored 8 times as many, so I need to do 2 times 8, or I could draw my bar graph like I did the last two. 2 times 8 equals 16 points. So today she scored 16 points. Matt planted 5 times as many flowers on Sunday as he planted on Saturday. Matt planted 7 flowers on Saturday. How many flowers planted on Sunday? So that would give me 7 times 5, which hopefully we know is 35 flowers. Mr. Ash has 7 students in art class. Mr. Trent has double the number of students in his class as Mr. Ash. Hopefully we know that double is a word here that means twice as many. So I can do 7 times 2 equals 14 students. I like the way that one's worded because it's not just straightforward. You have to do a little background there. So let's look at one more. So not only are we looking at multiplication word problems here, but we're also looking at possibly some division. James and Chris are in the school play. James has 42 lines to memorize. That is 6 times as many lines as Chris. Write and solve an equation to find the number of lines Chris has to memorize. So we have Chris lines, which I will make represent by C. And we know that 6 times as many lines as Chris. And James has 42 lines. So I could do here 42 divided by 6 would equal C. Or I could do C times 6 equals 42. And I could ask myself, what times 6 equals 42? A spoiler alert there. So that's going to be 7 times 6 equals 42. Or 42 divided by 6 would be 7. So C would be equal to 7. So Chris only has 7 lines. So that's a way that we could use multiplication or division to help us solve that problem. All right, this was a shorter video this week, but we'll get going Monday with these type problems. I hope you have a great weekend. Good luck on your homework, and I'll see you next week. Peace.